By no means am I encouraging scamming, but I know that if you can come up with a good scam in the United States of America, you can get to some serious money. Here's the downside to that. You can also get to some serious jail time, or some prison time. Anyways, let's get right into this story right here. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV. Palm Beach County, Florida. And a lot of people are saying, yep, had to be Florida. I knew it. Okay, two suspects were recently arrested in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, by the police, Broward County Sheriff's Office deputies, after they scammed Uber Eats out of more than $1 million. $1 million. Man, that's a hefty payday. How do you scam Uber Eats, though? Well, they outlined how it all worked for us. I'm going to explain to you how it happened, but please do not take this video as a how to do it and then go try doing it, because you might end up or will end up where these two ended up as well. So, beginning in January of 2022, a 21-year-old by the name of Teron Morgan from Lauderhill, Florida, and a 38-year-old named Roy Blackwood from Sunrise, Florida, allegedly began a fraud scheme of Uber Eats. They sat down, they put their plans together, and they were like, let's do it. So the crimes took place primarily in Broward County and Palm Beach counties, where the 21-year-old would act as if he was the customer and the courier, and the 38-year-old acted as if he was the driver on numerous occasions. This is all coming from the police reports. Morgan and Blackwood allegedly used fake accounts and phony names, fabricating stolen identities of Uber drivers. Understand? So they would make up these fake accounts with phony names, and then they would fabricate stolen identities of actual Uber drivers. Right. Now, according to the news release, the younger one, which is the 21-year-old suspect, placed grocery orders. So he would go ahead and order the groceries as a customer under a fake account. Then he would accept the orders as the courier as well. So he's ordering the groceries. Then he would accept the order as the courier. With a pre-authorized and pre-loaded credit card to make the grocery purchase, Morgan would sometimes buy up to $700 worth of items. Now, once the order was placed by himself as the customer and then purchased by himself as the courier, he would then cancel the groceries altogether. Just cancel the order. And then he would keep the money. Morgan also would allegedly then go purchase gift cards with the Uber credit card. On one instance in January, the detectives watched as they had them on their surveillance, right? And they watched both of them commit fraud at 27 different Walgreens locations. This is on one instant. So you could imagine, right? The feds are onto you. You're under heavy surveillance, and they're watching you, and they watch you commit fraud 27 times. I'm talking about when you go to court, there's not much that you can actually say. They watched you do it 27 times at 27 different Walgreens locations. This is in one day. Listen, I don't even have time to go to 2 different grocery stores in my city. And my city is pretty populated with a whole lot of different grocery stores in close proximity to each other. These guys went to 27 different Walgreens locations. And in that one trip, they made $5,013.28 that day, which was a loss of $5,013.28 to Uber, according to the sheriff's department. Now, before I even go on with the story, I'll say this. How about you get a job? How about you get a real job? Because if you can find time and dedicate time to going to 27 different Walgreens locations in one day, you could work a 9 to 5, man. And that 9 to 5, you will be in one location, not 27 different locations. But I understand you won't be making $5,000 in one day. That's a serious amount of money to make in one day. The only problem is, like I said before, it carries prison time, right? Which you might not be up for doing. And everybody swears they won't get caught until they get caught. And then the next person takes the same scam and thinks they can modify it and not get caught. Oh, I'm going to do it this way because I'm smarter. I figured out where they went wrong. And then they get caught. And the cycle continues. So anyways, the 21-year-old suspect is accused of stealing Uber drivers' identities. That was the first part. Then he would alter their license information with his own photograph, right? So basically, you get the driver's license of somebody, you reprint it with your own picture in it. So you're now the person. Alter their license information with his own photograph. Through the investigation with Uber's help, detectives confirmed that Morgan's participation in a fraud scheme was actually so. Now, following almost 8-month-long investigation, a warrant for the duo's arrest was issued on August 7th. Following an 8-month investigation. So they stayed on them for 8 months. In one instance, they watched them go to 27 different Walgreens and committed 27 different cases of fraud, 27 counts of fraud in 27 different locations. And they allowed them to continue this for 8 months. Oh, they really wanted them. I think they wanted to see, though, somebody's going to say, hey, how come they didn't just stop them there? If 27 cases of fraud at 27 different locations in one day, that's enough to get you a whole lot of jail time already, right? Why let them go for months? Well, I think they wanted to see who was the mastermind behind all this. They probably also wanted to see if this was bigger than what it is. Like what they're seeing now is just a fraction of, maybe they had a whole team out and the scheme is way bigger. Maybe there are other people out there who are using the same method, doing the same scheme, and they're trying to connect them. Because I can't figure out why else they would actually just, let them walk for 8 months, watching them for 8 months. So about a week later, Blackwood was arrested in Palm Beach Gardens. Police department officers and Morgan said that Morgan was also arrested. Detectives in Tamarack said about a week after his partner's arrest. One was arrested, the other one went on a run, and you know how that goes, right? So if I go into hiding, me and you are crime buddies, and I go into hiding, and you get caught, and a week later, the police finds me. What do you think happened there? I'm guessing he told. I'm guessing because everybody is tough until they get you into that little room. Y'all seen the room. Y'all watched another our first 48 and those kinds of shows. You seen the room. It gets tight in that room. The air gets very thin in that room. And it gets kind of claustrophobic, right? So when they start asking those questions, when they start telling you that, hey, look, we watched you do 27 cases of fraud in one day at 27 different locations, you're looking at a lot of time. Do you want to do this by yourself, or do you want to give up the other person and share the time? I tell you what, if you give up the other person, we'll speak on your behalf. We'll try to make it look like, not try to make it look like, but we will go to bat for you. We'll say, well, he was remorseful and he did cooperate, and maybe they'll cut your time in half. But right now you're looking at about 30 years by yourself. That's when you'll find out who's your ride or die. That's when that's when you'll find out who's about to tell and sing like a canary and who isn't. So they now are both in custody, and they now both face charges of organized scheme to fraud and grand theft. And this is according to the latest news release. Listen, like I said before, this is just an awareness video, but don't take this video as a how to do it. You will end up where these guys ended up as well. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Make no mistake about it though, 2022 to 2023, $1 million, that's a hefty salary. I know a lot of people that won't make $1 million in the next 10 years. They made over $5,000 in one day and made over $1 million in 1 year. I'm out. Peace.